Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. We are so excited to have you again. Some time ago, um, a, a journalist, an Igbo journalist, took out time to lambast, the southeastern politicians for their recklessness, or call it political ignorance, where they seem not to do anything about being in presidency come 2023. And right now, the Igbos seems to be very forceful, and the being forceful is understood, being that they have not tested that one position. And with the statement made by these journalists, Igbo journalists, about the attitude of the Igbos towards this 2023 presidency, one of the, or let me say, the national chairman or the national president of an apex sociocultural organization in the southeast have decided to respond to him, giving him the position of the Ndibos, even when Buhari came into power. We're going to be looking at all of this in a jiffy, but before we do that, if you've not subscribed, do well to hit the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you get notification anytime we publish our video. The Apex Igbo Sociocultural Group, Ohanaeze Ndibo, says the Southeast region has or had always been ready to rule the country. This was contained in a statement issued on Tuesday by President General of the group, George Obiozor. According to him, there are many personalities from the Southeast region competent enough to become president, capable of confronting and solving Nigeria's problems while guaranteeing a peaceful coexistence for all the citizens. The President General was reacting to an article by Frederick Nwabufo, a journalist and a writer, last week in the article entitled "What Did PDP Do to Deserve the Loyalty of Igbos?" Nwabufo had said the Igbos were not prepared for the presidency. According to him, he said, "We the Igbos cannot sit at the rivers of Babylon and lament our way to the presidency. We cannot have what we are not ready or prepared for. If work has been put in by Igbo political leaders in the past 6 years, forging alliance and mobilizing consciences, the right atmosphere would have been created for the zoning of the presidency to the southeast by foremost political parties in 2023. Reacting in an interview, Obiozor said that the Igbos have been prepared for the position before President Muhammadu Buhari assumed office in 2015. The President General said zoning the presidency to the southeast in 2023 was imperative. He further added that as for those Igbos like Frederick Nwabufo, who prefer to play the Manchurian complex as in his article, implying that Igbos are not prepared or drifting into one or another political party, should leave such criticisms to the enemies or rivals of Igbos. Patriotic Nigerians at home and abroad who understand the fundamental issues in 2023 presidency understand also the historic imperative of zoning the presidency to the southeast, the last zone and only the zone left out in southern Nigeria in the first round of the presidency across the country. Consequently, indeed, it is politically wise and reasonable, morally justifiable and defensible and patriotically persuasive for all the parties to zone the presidency to the southeast. For any zone in the south to aspire to hold the presidency twice, while the southeast has not had it even for once, will be politically and morally unjustifiable and a national political blunder, as well as a clear and open case of discrimination. Above all, it smacks of reckless political adventurism to despise or ignore other people's feelings or their fundamental right as fellow citizens. No politician in Nigeria this time should have the illusion that Nigerians don't know what is wrong or right. Nigerians are awake. In Igbo land today, we have many competent personalities that can confront and solve Nigerians' potential and endemic socio-political problems and guarantee peaceful coexistence for all the citizens regardless of ethnicity, religion, or race. We are ready and with an Igbo president, Nigeria and Nigerians will experience the true meaning of a federation with justice, equity, and fairness. Those were the words of Judge Obiozor, and he was actually directly responding to an article that was written by one of Nigeria's foremost writer, Frederick Nwabufo, who incidentally is from Southeast. And according to Obiozor, if you had listened to it, at the first paragraph, he said such criticism shouldn't be coming from Obiozor. But, at the point, though it's not good to say this thing in a public glare, but at the point, it's good for us to drive home the point and also to tell people the truth. Because when we are talking about politics, it's not an autocratic thing, especially politics in democracy. It's not something that you will begin to force people, to do it. For example, the reason why Tinubu seems to be receiving so much attention from the northern part of Nigeria and also from some southern people is because of the level of bridge building he did, before the advent of Buhari into power. Such contribution is needed, especially when you're talking about politics. Like right now, there is no way that, North Central, called the Middle Belt, can think of taking power to any way. Why? Because to some extent, they have been covered and forgotten, and they have not raised any doors at any time to prove that next time is going to be our time. You understand? And that was what Tinubu did. Even when the zoning issue was not being specifically mentioned in the constitution of the All Progressive Congress, he was always showing this, and I've heard it like from the mouth of so many people, even from the mouth of Saraki, that at one point Saraki was asking him, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what's the essence of giving this level of support to President Muhammadu Buhari, even when this man has not performed superbly? And in his response, that was in 2019 when Saraki spoke about it. And in his response, he said he's doing it because there is an agreement that after Buhari has gone for the 8 years, he's going to support him. And the term he used was that even if Buhari was on his deathbed, that he would still campaign and support Buhari. Why? Because Buhari was going to hand over to him. Now, that's the level of alliance we need in Nigeria. And if a region begin to put that in perspective, it will go an extra mile to correct certain ills. For example, when someone wants to go into power and you come into negotiation, not just as individuals, you come into this thing as a region of repute, letting the person know that, hey, after now, we are going to be the people on board, so that if there is an attempt to usurp or to take power from your hand, you will now tell the person point blank, remember our agreement that we had put pressure, it was on national dailies. You refer to all of it, and that will kind of, steer a lot of people from going after such price position that you are demanding for. But a situation whereby at the point you just say, I need it, it seems as if you are forcing people to, align with you. But be that as it may, as at this point, it is important for us to understand as a people that zoning or rotational power is overly important in a multi-ethnic environment like Nigeria. You understand? Because whenever you downplay certain major ethnic groups in a fight for number one position like this, you're only trying to tell them that you're not a part of us. We want you to go your way. We don't have anything to do with you. Even if you go, it won't affect anything. You understand? And that is not good. Imagine that Northerners are still filing people for that position. I know that this is democracy. Everyone have the constitutional right to vote and to be voted for. But in the same vein, it's good for us to be rational, so that if we must stay as one Nigeria, we need to begin to prove that, there are structures that must be respected, even when it has not been engrafted into the constitution, especially the issue of zoning. It's a very fair move, a move that is filled with so much, so much respect for human rights. Yes, some people say we want the right people to man that position come 2023 because of the level of suffering Nigerians have been passing through. Now, the ideal thing to do is to look through in each of the regions that mostly major regions in Nigeria. You look through them And you're going to pick someone who can perform superbly, someone who can correct the ill, someone who can bring laughter back to Nigeria, someone who can bring Nigeria together for us to be like one people, someone who can change our infrastructural, position, economic situation in the country. And certainly you're going to see it. For example, if you're talking about the Ndibus in Nigeria, we're talking about more than 50 million people. The same thing goes for the Yorubas. If you're talking about the Yorubas, we have more than 50 to 70 million people. Also, you want to tell me that out of the number of people, you can't even pick one person who has competent capacity, to lead the country to a glorious future? Of course, no. We have them. You understand? But right now, I feel that even as they are pressing in, the Southeasterners are pressing in to sit on that number one position, they should begin bridge building as much as possible. And they should go with someone who has already opened the deep forest, to create at least a pathway, if not a bridge yet, but at least a pathway, just to know, at least so that the people you're going to create this bridge with will at least have someone whom they will say, we know this face. You understand? Not just to go with a stranger and all of that. Well, that's just a personal opinion on my part. What do you have to say about the issue of Igbo presidency come 2023?